Okay, so, you guys are not going to believe this. Like, seriously. You won't believe these government secrets that were hidden from the public for years. We all grow up thinking we know how the world works, that the people in charge are, looking out for us. But what if I told you that was all a lie, the real story? So much darker, so much more twisted. I've been going down this rabbit hole, and what I found, it's terrifying. Here are 7 shocking cover-ups that finally came to light. Alright, first up is something that honestly sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's 100% real. It was called Project MK Ultra. So, picture this. It's the Cold War, the 1950s, and the CIA is completely paranoid about the Soviets. They get this idea in their heads that they need to master mind control. Not for a movie, but for real life. So, they start this top-secret, highly illegal program to figure out how to manipulate people's minds, to break them down, to control them. And the scariest part, they didn't use volunteers. They used unsuspecting American and Canadian citizens. They were dosing people with high levels of LSD and other drugs without their knowledge or consent. Okay, so this next one is probably the most famous political scandal in American history, but the details of the cover-up are still just wild. Watergate. It started with a seemingly minor break-in at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in the Watergate office complex in 1972. It looked like a simple burglary, but it wasn't. The burglars were connected to President Richard Nixon's re-election campaign. And this is where it gets crazy. Instead of just coming clean, the Nixon administration launched one of the most elaborate and illegal cover-ups imaginable. They were shredding documents, trying to bribe the burglars to stay silent, using the CIA to obstruct the FBI's investigation, and secretly recording every single conversation in the Oval Office. For 2 years, Nixon and his team denied everything. But thanks to a secret informant known only as Deep Throat and some relentless journalists, the whole conspiracy unraveled, leading to Nixon becoming the only president ever to resign. It proved that even the president isn't above the law. This one is hard to talk about. It's called the Tuskegee Study of Untreated Syphilis in the Negro Male. In 1932, the United States Public Health Service started a study involving 600 African American men in Tuskegee, Alabama. 399 of them had syphilis. The men were told they were being treated for bad blood. They were promised free medical care, meals, and burial insurance. But it was all a monstrous lie. The real purpose of the study was to observe the effects of untreated syphilis. Even when penicillin became the standard cure in the 1940s, the researchers actively prevented the men from receiving it. They wanted to see the disease run its horrifying course: blindness, insanity, heart failure, death. The study only ended in 1972 when a whistleblower leaked the story to the press, causing a massive public outcry. Okay, this is one of those things that if you heard it from a friend you'd say, no way, that's impossible. But it's documented. It's real. It was a proposal called Operation Northwoods. In 1962, the Joint Chiefs of Staff drafted and approved a plan to trick the American public into supporting a war with Cuba. And how were they going to do that? By committing acts of terrorism against their own people and blaming it on Cuba. They talked about blowing up a U.S. ship in Guantanamo Bay and blaming Cuba. They talked about committing terrorist attacks in American cities like Miami, Washington, D.C. They even proposed a plan to shoot down a civilian airliner filled with college students and make it look like Cuba did it. Thankfully, the plan was rejected by President John F. Kennedy, but the fact that it was ever seriously proposed is chilling. So, imagine the government is publicly saying one thing, but secretly behind everyone's back, they're doing the exact opposite. That's the Iran-Contra affair in a nutshell. It had 2 main parts. First, the United States was secretly and illegally selling weapons to Iran. This was a huge deal because Iran was under an arms embargo and considered a state sponsor of terrorism. The money from those secret arms sales wasn't just disappearing. High-level officials were secretly funneling the profits to fund anti-communist rebels in Nicaragua called the Contras. When the whole thing was exposed, it led to massive investigations, congressional hearings, and multiple convictions. It was a stunning example of a government operating in secret, breaking its own laws. We think of the FBI as the good guys, right? The ones who catch the bad guys. But what if I told you that for years, the FBI was running a secret war against American citizens? It was called COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program. From the 1950s to the 70s, under the direction of J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI launched covert, often illegal operations aimed at disrupting and neutralizing political groups. The civil rights movement, anti-Vietnam War protesters, feminist organizations. They targeted figures like Martin Luther King Jr. The FBI's tactics were straight-up sinister. They forged letters to create conflict. They planted false stories. They used illegal wiretaps. They carried out burglaries. In 1971, activists broke into an FBI office, stole files and leaked them to the press. It exposed a terrifying abuse of power. And finally, we come to a secret that affects every single one of us right now. In 2013, the world was shaken when an NSA contractor named Edward Snowden leaked a massive trove of classified documents to journalists. And what those documents revealed was terrifying. They proved that the United States government, through the NSA, was secretly conducting mass, warrantless surveillance on a global scale. We're talking about millions of ordinary Americans. The programs had code names like PRISM. Through them, the NSA was collecting our phone records, our emails, our internet search history, our social media activity, everything. They had direct access to the servers of major tech companies like Google, Facebook, Apple. They were building a detailed profile on virtually everyone, all without a warrant. Snowden revealed the government had built the largest surveillance apparatus in human history. He became a fugitive for telling the truth, but his leaks sparked a worldwide debate about privacy and government overreach. The secret was out. They were watching. So, there it is. 7 stories they never wanted you to hear. From mind control to false flags, from betraying sick men to spying on every single one of us. It's a lot to take in, I know. It's heavy, and honestly, it's scary. These aren't just stories, they are warnings. They're proof that power can corrupt and that secrecy can hide unimaginable things. The only reason we even know about any of this is because brave people, whistleblowers, journalists, activists, risked everything to expose the truth. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If these are the secrets that have come to light, what else is still buried? Which of these cover-ups shocked you the most? Is there one I missed that you think people need to know about? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing revelations. Stay safe, and stay questioning.